Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
African Oriental Store, Africa, America kono. Mole season fengol sotalie, anin fengo mumebe, alie mumea Gambia banko kan. Tuluse, dasa majorangol can beef, African Oriental Store, nyilla le fengol natalie, falla bunda kungoto. Mole nete tuo sotalie, tiamunko, sefo, subo, African Oriental Store, nyinom bitikoti muyale sulata fengo fena, isa sotono jele, na mano sotalie le, mirango, tame, nyintingo, andi churayo, anin fana manyina kewalla mulialonko, walal buka bambang ila futu bungo kono na borol sotale boro mi yalon ko asema ko ino ila futu larango kan wali abaya sotale samato anin abaya fason jamal mon man nyina kewalla mul yalon ko wallal kala fi haftano la na tobano sotale anin churayo iba dawon daranding ñu US anin Canada banko kan isom ordering kalele website to mumu www.orientalafricanminimart.com ka sipin fanan kalele African Oriental Store Africa America kono bata banta fere.
Honorable Minister, two Deputy Permanent Secretaries, Executive Director, National Sports Council, members of staff of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, members of the press here present, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure to invite you, members of the press, to come to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, although we are in the conference hall of the Ministry of Tourism and Culture. Sincere appreciation to the ministry, to that ministry for that. The purpose of this press conference is for the Honorable Minister to shed light on the recent presentations done at State House to our various national sporting teams. So you will have access to him. He will avail you of the opportunity to ask questions, but in the meantime, he will issue a statement regarding the issue at hand. So once again, you are welcome. Be courteous and wait for answers to come out. And as usual, in a friendly and fraternal atmosphere. Honorable Minister, you have the floor. And once again, thank you for coming.
It's no secret that the president called the national team on the day that they defeated Angola at the stadium. And he also took that opportunity to address the nation through the media. But this was supposed to be the first time, because of course at the time he was on his annual leave in Mankamankunda and he couldn't have met them. So he thought this was an opportunity to meet the team and congratulate them, thank them for all the good work that they have done in qualifying Gambia for the first time. So that was the event that we held at the State House. The under-20 came, the volleyball team came, but like reported on the media, the national team did not turn up. And of course, we were notified that morning on Monday that through the GFF that the national team have decided not to come to the State House. Well, it was said for the meeting of the president, like I said, accurate, but they were invited for that presentation, and that's what they did not come to do. And the reason of not coming, as indicated on their letter, which again, the letter wasn't signed, but the fact that we received it from the Gambia Football Federation, we take it that it is an authentic letter, that they believe that the amount of money that was being given to them wasn't adequate enough, or it was not motivational enough for them as a team. And there has been on the public. We want to clarify as a ministry that we are committed to the issue of football. We are committed to work with the national team. And we appreciate the efforts that the national team have done over the last 1.5, about 2 years in qualifying Gambia for the AFCON. And that will remain in the record, that will remain in history, that this current national team is the one that qualified us to go to AFCON for the first time. But we also want to clarify that the bonus that is being talked about is not related to the bonus, the matches. Because we've seen sometimes maybe people did not understand, maybe it's about not understanding the football regulations. When teams go to play, they have their allowances, their appearance allowance, or their camping allowance. These are things managed by the GFF. Now, and we provide the funds. The ministry, the government provide the funds for it. They submit budget, and we work according to their budget. And each player who appears at every game, whether you play or you don't play, is paid an appearance allowance, or they call it a camping allowance. And if they win, they are paid an additional amount as bonuses for winning the games. If they draw, they are paid half of the amount that is calculated in full as a winning bonus. And government and the ministry and the GFF did not owe the boys any of these games. All the games that they've played, as far as we are concerned, those monies have been paid, transferred from government to GFF, and they pay them in full in all the games. So we don't owe the players anything. We don't owe them allowances. We don't owe them their rightful privileges or implied contractual arrangements that they have between themselves and the GFF. What we were presenting, or presented at the State House, was kind of a reward, a thank you, a token of appreciation for the team qualifying for the AFCON. And that was what we said, that it's 11.1 million. That's what government at the moment can provide for the national team for qualifying. And like I said, let me repeat it again. This 11.1 million is not related to their winning bonuses. The winning bonuses have been paid fully. In fact, in one of the games, the players were paid match bonuses when they did not even win in one of their games. In addition to that, government have been investing quite an adequate resources in the last 1 year in terms of ensuring that the team qualifies. I will give you the figures later in terms of what we have spent in the national team in the last year. But to say that the motivation is not there, I don't think that's accurate, because previous teams can complain probably about not being motivated enough, but this current team, we believe that, of course, we wouldn't say they have everything they need, but almost all the things that we have been negotiating in the past, then with GFF and GFF communicate to us, we, as a government, try to provide the resources, and that includes training camps. Last year, they had a training camp in Portugal, fully funded by government at the tune of 10 million. Recently, they are traveling in chartered flights from Brussels to Banjul, and then when they went to Gabon, and then their last game in March, again from Brussels to Banjul, took them to DRC, brought them back here, and took them to Brussels. All of that was meant to ensure that the boys are comfortable. They have at least most of the things that they need, and it's coming from government coffers, unplanned for, to say that. And then there has been an upgrade in terms of their camping allowances, their match bonuses. What they were paid before and what they've been paid now is way different. In fact, more than 100% increment. So the motivation is there, or as far as we know, the motivation is there. Now, the last thing that I would want to say in terms of figures, from our own records, the Gambia government, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, between September of 2020 to recent, we have spent a total of $105 million of government money on the team, just the national team, not even the other teams, just the Scorpions. A total of $105 million was spent in the qualifying campaigns, like I said, in the last 1 year. So that is unprecedented. And that's why in the State House I said we have spent more than any other past times in terms of football alone. And we have right to say that, because that amount, spending that within a period of 1 year, we are not going to claim that as the reason why they qualified. They did extremely well, the GFF did extremely well, but the provisions that is what is provided to them also contributes towards them being comfortable and qualifying the Gambia. But in addition, there are a lot of projects that are ongoing in the last 2 years in terms of developing football fields, developing mini stadiums across the country, and currently there are about 7 football fields that are being developed across the country. All of that is government investment towards the development of sports. And that's why the amount is not just focused on one, it's also looking at the grassroots and what we can do. So that's what we wanted to share with the general public. And again, like I said, we are not in a back and forth with the players. We believe that there is a disinformation out there, or there is misinformation in terms of what is supposed to be given to the boys and what that event at the State House was all about. And we owe it to the general public to clarify. But it's also important that when government is investing in something, that the general public gets to know what government is putting in, so that it becomes clear that nobody will say, well, the government is not putting in enough money. We are not comparing ourselves with other countries. We are doing what we are able to do as a country and at the situation that we are. We've told also that the boys expected more than what they get. You know, anybody will expect more than what you get. That's a normal thing. But we are not comparing ourselves with previous regimes or previous president. If the previous president was able to allocate $1 million to each player or the under-17, we need to ask ourselves, how did that money come about? Are we, as a government, able to do the same? At the time, maybe the head of state can sit in the State House and write a simple letter and send it to Central Bank and ask for 30 million, or send it to Social Security and ask for 20 million, and Social Security will provide without no documentations, no supporting documents. That doesn't happen now. President Adama Barrow cannot sit at the State House and ask Central Bank to give him money. He cannot even ask Finance, the Minister of Finance, to give him money. The ministries will use monies allocated to the sectors to provide what needs to be provided. And that's why this whole presentation, he did not determine an amount that should be given to the players. It is us looking at our available funds and deciding what we are able to do based on the realities on the ground. And then, you know, the 11 million is what we said we can do. The 2 million, 2.5 is what we said we can give to the under 20. If we have more than that, we believe the players deserve more than that in terms of a reward. But the reality is, you cut your coat according to your size. If another country is giving some amount and you're able to give half of that amount, that is when you can provide. But I want to just advise, this is just across the board, the players and every other person. Our country is different. We have nurses here that are working day and night and probably not rewarded enough. We have security officers that are spending time outside, sleeping outside, and they're doing sacrifice for the country. The same thing applies with people in the civil service and what they're getting. Every one of us at a particular time in your life would do something, some kind of service for the country. Us as ministers or as directors, permanent secretaries, we don't compare ourselves with Senegal or with what a minister in Guinea gets, because it's way different. But we know that our economic situations limit us, and that's where we stop. So that's the same thing that should cut across the board. Every individual would do something for the country, and the country will say thank you. We expect that should be appreciated. And of course, it's a gift, it's a reward. You want to take it, that's good enough. If somebody says, well, I don't want your gift, that's ask fair, ask any other thing. We don't have any problem with the team refusing the money. But we just think that it's important that we clarify this, but also tell the boys that as a ministry, as a government, we recognize their tremendous efforts in putting the Gambia out there. We recognize all the sacrifice they have done to qualify us. But again, limitations apply in this instance. And we hope that the investment that we have done will continue to do more. As recent as 2 weeks ago, they just came back from Turkey on a 14 days training camp. Again, that's unprecedented. At any time did we have teams, not even here, but going all the way to Turkey and having a complete 2 weeks of training, again, fully funded by the government of the Gambia. And all this is in preparation. And they've already submitted a schedule that the GFF, that the team is going to do another training camp sometime in October, and then do another one eventually in December before they will head to Cameroon. And all of these things is expensive. We know government will not do it all, but we're trying our best. So these are the realities, and this is what we wanted to clarify for the greater understanding of the public. But once again, let nobody think that we owe players arrears from their bonuses. This has nothing to do with that. There are match bonuses, winning bonuses, were fully paid during the games. This is just a reward that we wanted to give them. Thank you.
Juncture, I would like to invite you if you have any clarifications to be made, and please just identify your media where you are from.
Yeah,
and then
like Arizona Sports.
Yeah.
I have two questions for the minister. Because recently we have 3 games split in.
Really don't manage the team. The ministry don't manage the team. It's the Gambia Football Federation that is tasked with managing the team. Our role is mostly providing the resources for the team to get at least most of what they need. That's what we do. Now, they've rejected this money, and like I said, it's like me calling you and said, you know, because you've been doing very well in your journalism, we recognize that effort as a patriot who is not well paid. We want to give you this extra token for doing the job, and you said, I don't want it. It's, you know, it's an easy thing. We are not going to, you cannot force anybody to take a reward or a gift. So with regards to the gift, if they change their mind and said, we will take it, the money is there. It's at the sport council level. It will be transferred. The check has been presented, and they can just go and cash it, and I will transfer the money into the people's account who want it. If some people in the team don't want it and others want it, I guess it shouldn't be a big deal. We will give it to those who want. Those who still insist that they don't want, you know, it's just fine. You know, but like I said, that's at the GFF level. Our role is we have done that. This is what we can have. Now, in Turkey, well, things happen in Turkey. I don't want to go back into those details anymore because I have explained that adequately to the Standard newspaper. We had a budget from the GFF, and at the time, we said we would not be able to take care of the entire budget, which is the $15 million that they gave us as a budget to take the team to Antalya in Turkey for the training camp. But then somehow things went on, and we provided the money that we can. How did it come about? Because they were not able to cut their budget, we decided to cut the budget. And this is, again, a simple issue. If I am providing funds, it's, again, what I can do. It's not what you want to do. Technically, we understand they have the technical preparations, but if the money is coming from us, then we have, we know what our budgets are and what our limitations are, and we say this is what we can provide. If that was accepted, they would have worked around it and used the figure, but because that wasn't the case, we sat down here and said, okay, let's look at some items that we can remove, and we decided to remove the items that we think maybe they can go without it. Now, when it went to them, things happened, but that is at the GFF level. We are hoping that the GFF would, you know, resolve those things at their own level with the players.
My name is Esther from Ghana. Well, my first question would be, when did you guys receive the letter from the boys that you would not be attending the meeting the festival?
On Monday, the same day, Monday morning, the day of the presentation.
Email.
Did you told the boys prior that they were meeting the president before receiving the letter from them?
No, we don't communicate with the players directly.
I mean the GFF.
Yes, we officially, when we confirmed the date, the previous week, the National Sport Council, the director is here, Marcel, sent an official letter to the GFF inviting the two teams, the senior team and the under-20, to come to State House for a presentation of the bonus or the reward. The same thing he did with the Gambia volleyball, that they are invited to State House for a presentation. And then the other teams came, but this one did not come. But like I said, the formal communication came through the GFF Monday morning. But we still went ahead with the event because it was meant for 3 teams. 2 teams said they will come, 1 said they would not come. The event took place. And the presentation of the 11.1 million was done because the team manager received it on behalf of the team. Yeah.
And the other question is, probably it's just a suggestion, because we have seen them qualify for AFCON, and the team spirit is already there. And Gambians are saying probably this might affect their performance during the AFCON competition. So probably the ministry, together with the sports council, could have a dialogue with the board so that they could understand, and then this misunderstanding stuff will be over.
Okay, thank you for the suggestion. But like I said again, until we reach at that level, we have limits. The Gambia Football Federation is the one that deals with the players directly. Now it's not within our mandate to do that because there's a football management in place, and that's how it works. You know, governments in real sense, if everything was normal, maybe GFF would get sponsors for the teams, and then they will finance the activities of the teams. Government wouldn't even have to have anything with the team. No money, we don't have anything. GFF would do. But again, we understand the situation. Maybe companies here don't put in money in sports, so government will do their responsibility when it comes to the national team, and we will continue to do that as long as our teams are here.
So,
can you identify your?
I am Boycotted from Kelfan. Some of these questions are asked. I'm sorry if I repeat any question. First, about the players. As the sport minister, did you speak to the players after this event? And what did they tell you if you speak to them? Now, my second question has to do with the Ministry of Youth and Sports. We understand these are two ministries that are joined together, both youth and sports. And then you said that
for other projects, if I'm going to be that simple, but you see, the allocation, this 11.1 million, was actually not allocated in the budget that you would see bonus for senior team when we are doing a planning. These are resources that government have, and because they qualified, we'll have to get resources and put it there, but it's not a budget. But there are other projects that are ongoing that equally need money as well. There are other teams that are here that also need support. So we would know there will be use for the money if at all they refuse to take it at all. Hopefully there will be dialogue. No, but about your question about calling them, no, I did not talk to them. I don't have a direct contact with the boys. I know some of them from way back, but when it comes to the portfolio, I don't deal with them, based on my position as a minister. And like I said, we don't even deal with the players directly. It's the JFF that does that. And that's why everything that they need comes to JFF and it comes to us. Whatever we're providing for them, it gets through us to the JFF and it gets to them. So in terms of the budget, what you see on the books and the estimates, that's not the budget for the entire ministry. And I've tried to explain this to people. Interpretation of the budget, you don't look at the figures and say, but what about this? That is a recurrent cost. And it goes towards taking care of staff, salary, or expenses related to the ministry, sporting materials if you want to support, and then maintenance of the other satellite institutions within the ministry. Now, projects and other things are completely different. And I gave a figure, like you said, you were in here. I said between October and now, or September actually, between September 2020 and this very time we are, the Ministry of Youth and Sports have spent $105 million on just the national team alone during their qualifiers. So that is almost equal to what you're talking about, right? But that's different from the other associations that are here, sporting associations that we equally supporting. We just supported the Paralympics on an outing that cost us more than $1 million, 1.8 million, right? There are other expenses that we have done in the wrestling, in other sporting as well. And the projects that we're doing right now, about 7 of them, each one of them costs close to 10 million. So that's about 70 million. So these are things that are expenses that are coming from government. So to say government is not committed, I think is a lack of understanding because people look at figures, numbers. They don't look at the output. But there has been a lot of work that has been ongoing at the moment. And recently the president launched the youth revolving loan, which cost 20 million and 22 million. All right, and that is already been implemented. And the NYSS is recruiting 200 young people that they will go to certain institutions of their choosing, and government will pay for their fees for 2 years. So these are all activities that are ongoing, and that's what government is doing for the young people, youth and sports of this sector.
The reason I ask this question is you go to other countries, the government is responsible of the national team, their policies and everything. We've seen this is a different case. We know that you come to this ministry not long ago, but it's a different case in the Gambia. And then what people are asking is, when will the government of the Gambia take full responsibility, their responsibilities about the national team?
We are doing that already. That's the I'm giving a detailed of what we're doing. As it is right now, the national team is taken care of by the government.
By the government.
And that's why I said 105 million is spent.
They are taking the bonuses and everything.
Yes.
We pay the bonuses, yes. These, again, maybe you want us to go back. This is not winning bonus. The winning bonus of the players is paid every day that they win. Any game that they play and they draw, the bonuses have been paid fully. We do not owe them anything. That's what I said earlier. All the games that they have played, GFF gives us budget, we send the money to GFF and they pay. The only thing that remains with us is the ticket, their travels. And then their travels are fully paid. In fact, everywhere that they are coming from, their connecting flights is taken care of. Even sometimes we even have to pay for their internal transport to the airport, from your home to the airport. So these are things that are taken care of. Government is doing that, as far as we know.
So now, sorry for this. Maybe
Can we
last
ask
question.
the last
Yeah, this is the last
question because
So,
yeah.
do you think, as a minister, since the boys qualified for this AFCON, their motivation, did it really impress you as a minister, the way they are motivated? As a minister, are you impressed?
With what?
The motivation that the boys are given.
Which one? Which motivation?
Any kind of motivation.
Yeah.
Are they motivated as a
Yeah.
minister? Did you observe
Since
that?
before they qualify or
When they
after?
qualify the country, I mean.
Well, maybe I still don't understand the question. What our responsibility is this. The 11.1 million?
The motivation.
The 11.1 million is what we are giving. What I said earlier is this. We don't want to compare ourselves with other countries. Maybe Celerion didn't even have a chartered flight when they were going to play. I'm not sure if they did. Did we have? Yes. Or they did not have, right?
Yes, yeah.
So those are the differences. You don't compare because they did this, you have to do it. You do things based on availability of funds. And leaders are different. There are some leaders that can dip into the state coffers and give anyhow. Nobody accounts for it. Or nobody is going to ask. But then, here, the president doesn't do that. He allows people to operate based on the available funds. You don't have to go to central bank and take a budget that doesn't belong to you, or take project money and give it, or go to the pensioner scheme and dip from there and give the team. No, you pay what is available. So if Celerion have done something that we did not do, I mean, bravo to them. But what I'm saying is, at the government level, we do not have that. And the president of Celerion made a pledge before they went to play. He has an obligation to fulfill the pledge. We did not make a pledge to the boys. Our pledge to them, when I met them in Ocean Bay after the first chartered flight, is that when they continue to receive what they're receiving, getting their allowances on time, getting their match bonuses on time, and getting a chartered flight, they will qualify for us. And I promised them that we will give them the winning bonus if they win, and we've done that. And I promised them that we will endeavor to get you a chartered flight in your next outing, and we did that. Those are the pledges, and that's what we fulfill. This one is not, it's not like a written entitlement, or it's not a right that if you qualify, you must get this. It's what is available, and ask government the 11.1 million, which if they say among them and their technical players, each one of them can get minimum $5,000, about $277,000, which is more than $5,000. That's what we can provide.
So I think we can have one, or if you the clarifications, they are well said, I believe, and they are also well noted. So I want to thank members of staff, the 2 deputy permanent secretaries, the executive director, National Sports Council, Mr. Njai, our advisor, and the procurement officer, and all other staff present here, and also all of you for taking your time to come at short notice. We want to extend our sincere appreciation and thank you to all of you. On that note, I hereby draw the curtain and formally close this press conference. Honorable Minister, with your indulgence.
Thank you, yes. All right, okay guys, thank you so much for coming.
See you again.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Store Africa America kono mole season fengol sotalie anin fengo mume be alie mume a Gambia banko kan tuluse da sama jorangol can beef African Oriental Store nyilale fengol natalie falla bunda ko ngoto mole nete tuo sotalie tiamun ko sefo subo African Oriental Store nyinom bitikoti mu yale sulata fengo fenna isa sotono jele na mano sotalie le mirango tame nyintingo andi churayo anin fana manyina ke wala muli yalon ko walal buka bambang ila futu bungo kono na borol sotale boro mi yalon ko asema ko ino ila futu larango kan wali abayal sotale samato anin abaye façon jamal mon manyina ke wala muli yalon ko walal kala fi haftano la na tobano sotale anin churayo ibada won daranding ñu US anin Canada banko kan isom ordering kalele website to mu www.orientalafricanminimart.com ka sipin fanan kalele African Oriental Store Africa America kono bata banta fere